Hello, I'm here today live to talk about grace. Yes, grace flowing in our lives. So, in my life, I've noticed that grace is always there, and I cut off from it. I stop myself from feeling grace. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Sandy. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Birdie Beer. Oh, aloha. You guys are like grace in action in my life. And grace is always there. It's just when things, hey, Deb Ryder, when things get difficult, when things get hard, I lose that. And things got hard for me lately, and I lost it. And so I put together this week's practice on grace and flow because I needed the reminder of how to get back into remembering that this life is all about love. This life is all about grace in action, and that we cut off from love. We cut off from grace. And then I love that because then we can come back to it, right? We have the power then to come back to it once we grab a hold of ourselves. So how do we get back to it, right? Well, I've noticed that when I get out of grace, my heart starts to cave in. In fact, I really noticed it as I was shooting video for the membership, like my upper back was really humping up. And I know I have a congenital issue that I fight, so it's like extra hard for me to keep my heart open. But when I lose my grace, it just starts coming in on me, and I start having this hump coming out the back end, and I'm in pain. Like my shoulders will be in pain, because when I live without grace, I'm living without love. So step one to open to grace is to open your heart. So if you want to join me, go grab your noodle ball or your noodle or whatever. And if you don't have that available, you can just breathe into it with us. Breathe into your heart space. It'll really help, because this means we've lost our full breath. We're not breathing in the grace. We're not breathing in the love. We're getting hardened. And as we get hardened, we get ungraceful. And as we get ungraceful, we've lost that flow in our lives. And when I lose that flow, I start to disconnect with people, with things that are flowing. They come right by me, but I just miss it, right? So let's open our heart first, and then I want to talk about the second thing that keeps me from feeling the flow of grace in my life. So go grab your noodle or just breathe with us, whatever you need to do. So yeah, simply just place your noodle or a rolled up towel or your noodle, swimming pool noodle ball, whatever you have, and just lie over it. Now as I lie here, I start to breathe deeply in and out of my heart. In through my nose and out through my mouth. And after I've been there for a bit breathing, I just start to move around. And for this practice, I'm just going to consider that these hardened knots are where I'm knotted up and not accepting the grace of life. So as I work on a knot, I'm working on opening to grace. It makes it so much easier for me when I think about that. Like just allowing grace to flow, allowing the grace of life to bring me what I need. And every moment I have what I need. Sometimes it's just not what I want, right? But it is all the time what I need. I just sometimes have to get past these moments to realize, oh yeah, I really needed that lesson, or I needed that information, or I needed to learn that skill. Yeah, so I'm just going all over in my heart space, you too. Or just breathe deeply in and out of the space of your heart, drawing in grace and releasing all of that we're just going to call it control today. Releasing all that control, because it's when things get tough and I feel like Grace has left me, when it's me that's left Grace, I start to control things. Yeah. Then my butt cheeks get tight. Then my back goes out. You know, you guys know the scenario. Oh, awful. Oh, yeah. So just enjoying your open heart and breathing in and out of it for a moment. Breathing in the grace. Breathing out the control. Oh, feels so good. And those of you who don't do this every day, I don't know how you don't do it every day. Like, I have to have a noodle in my heart every day. And when I don't, oh my God, it feels so bad. And I do get ungraceful. And really, like in our postures, we can see when we're not in grace. We can see the body language of, you know, hardening and not moving smoothly. Oh, nice. Well, you can keep going if you want. I'm going to exhale, roll off, and come up because I wanted to talk about a few other things. That felt so good. So good, so good. So here's the deal. I was watching, what is it? Oh, The Irishman on Netflix, and they made the people look a lot younger than they were. But the difficulty was in their bodies. Like, they had stiffened and hardened that they didn't walk in grace anymore, right? They had gotten kind of chunky and hardened off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do the ball work, you know? Do these movements and you can look young and spry. I know for me that it's doing this work, that it's like not only moving my body like we just did, like opening my heart, but also working through, okay, what's happening? Well, life got hard. I forgot that there's grace. I need to open back up to the grace. And then the second thing is that when I get, life's hard and I've forgotten there's grace, I start controlling. So we're going to do something for that just while we sit here and have a little chat. So I'm just going to back up and come to all fours. So I'm going to turn like this so you can see me. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Join in. And I'm just going to take my right leg and cross it over my left. Walk my feet wide apart behind me. And I just like to do circles here. Oh, yeah. I just circle my bottom back. I go both directions, just circling. And that itself can be like, oh, it's really hard. And then if you can, you're just going to sit between your feet. Now, if it's hard because you have a really tight ass, you can sit up on a pillow or anything that is going to prop you up a little bit and help. Or if your knees bother you, you can always just straighten the leg, the top leg or the bottom leg if it's the one. But I sit like this. I try to sit like this as much as possible because it releases control. And best of all, it creates space here for my lower back, my sacrum, to fall into alignment. Yeah. So now I'm releasing control. Now my lower back has space. So my sacrum can fall down as I exhale. And it comes back up a little bit as I inhale. And then I know I'm in the flow of grace in my life. Like if I just sit normal, like, I can do it here, or I can even do it when I sit like this. I can crunch in squeezing my butt cheeks. But this way, it opens my butt cheeks. So then I'm not controlling, which is good for most people, because then we actually have the right leg. That's others. I'm not controlling you. I just let you be. And I let the grace of life be, which is what we all want, right? Aw, awesome. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Let's see, Birdie Beer. Hi, greetings from Okaloosa, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Awesome. Oh my God, I can't begin to say how perfect this is right now. Yay. Happy Friday. Hey, Sandra, I'm glad you're here. So you guys start trying to sit like this. Let me know how that goes. And let's do the other side, all right? Because we just did the right side, so we're releasing control of others. Let's do that left side. Ooh, I'll just pull this down a little bit so you can see. So right side is others, I control others. Left side is me. So I'm gonna take my left leg and just cross it just in front of my right, feet wide apart behind me, and I start to circle. And I can feel now that I'm even a little more graceful than I was when I started. I go both directions. Oh, feels so good. And I just rock back and forth and sit between my feet. And then again, I'm sitting up and I'm opening my butt cheeks. Then I'm not controlling myself. And I let the flow of grace come in and out of me. So I'm just gonna sit here and allow that grace to flow as I tell you about something that, grace has helped me create. Yeah, I just created, I started creating it back in, I don't know, like April, this program called Lower Back Bliss. Yes, it's a 21-day program to take your lower back from pain and tension to lower back, to feeling lower back bliss. So I'm releasing it to you guys tomorrow. I'm releasing it to my groups first, and it's going to be $100 cheaper than when I release it to the public. So if you have lower back pain that you haven't been able to get out of, this is the program for you. I had 5 people test it, and they all started out with lower back pain on a scale from 1 to 10, from a 6 to a 10. Like a 10 is like, holy moly, my back really, really hurts. And they all were like, from the least was a 6, the most was a 10. So they were all somewhere in 6 to 10, like, ouch, my back hurts. And after the 21 days, they were all down to 1, which is no pain, or one person was up to 3. Like, to me, that's a miracle. And they all had different kinds of lower back pain. Sciatica, SI was out, ruptured discs. So it wasn't like, they all had the same lower back issue. So this program really works. And I developed it because I lived in chronic lower back pain for 15 years. Talk about no grace in my life. When I was in that kind of pain, it's like all I could think about was my lower back pain. It just like drained the grace out, right? Just like when I forget now, and the heaviness in my heart just starts to drain the grace away. So I went everywhere asking anybody that would listen, doctors, chiropractors, acupuncturists, therapists, psychotherapists, yoga teachers, yoga therapists, what do I do about this? And I got little bits and pieces from everybody. And that's how I put together this whole program. And this is nothing new. I have been teaching this for many, many years, probably have taught to thousands, for sure, thousands of people. And so they all had improvements, and so many got out of lower back pain. So I decided just to take it, put it online into a broader audience, and I wanted to announce it to you guys first. Yay! And it will be available tomorrow. And again, it's going to go up in price. So if you want it, get it now. I'll be upping the price in about a month. So let me know what you think about it. Check it out. My landing pages on my website. Actually can put the link to that once we get off of this live, and you can check it out for yourself. So that to me is like grace, like just getting the information, teaching it to students, having people have so much success with it. All of that is grace. And in this last little hard time that I've been through, is my heart hardened. I was like thinking, oh, this is, I'm not doing the right thing. I should, it's all that self-doubt and that self-talk that I call it my bad mom is in my head, talking me down, telling me I'm not worthy. And then when I remember to open to grace again, I'm like, no, this thing is amazing and it needs to be out there, and it helps so many people. So whatever you're doing in your life, don't lose your grace. Keep opening your heart, no matter how hard it's getting. Come on, let's do this thing. Let's do it together. And share with us on Facebook. We have this amazing Facebook group, Ageless Movement Practices, just for members. But it's an amazing group. Go on and let's share together our journey and talk about what makes us lose grace and how we get back. Well, I gave you how to get back today. Open your heart and stop controlling. Put a ball in your butt too. That really works. But just sitting like this, learning to sit like this, really helps. And I taught myself to sit like this from my lower back pain days. And oh my gosh, it really helps my lower back pain. When I sit in chairs and I can't put my legs up and do this, like I do this in a chair too, then my back starts to hurt because it's like pushing right on my sacrum and my tail. And so this is the way to sit to get out of lower back pain. And you can do it in airplanes too. You can just tuck that leg right up. I'm always like, sorry, my toes are on you. I always have socks on. So good to be with you guys. Let's see if you have any comments or questions. This is an awesome move. As soon as I put my stretch pants on, I'll give it a try. Yeah. Hey, Paige Martin, glad you're here. Does this last move affect the SI joint, or is it mostly butt work? No, it really helps the SI joint because it creates space. So our sacrum is right here. And when I'm pushing in here, it pushes my SI up. But when I sit like this, it opens my butt cheek, and then I have space for my SI to drop back into place. It's awesome. This feels wonderful, says Sandy. I feel contained. Awesome, right? Not broken and going out, spilling your stuff everywhere. All right. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Darla. Let's see. Oh, definitely perfect timing. I love that seated position. Such relief. Now if I can find a way to make that work in my office chair, says Deb. Yeah. You know what I'm doing for an office chair now is a ball. I'm sitting on one of those big balls instead of in a chair. And I can't sit like that, but it doesn't hurt my back. And it makes my core work while I'm sitting there. It's awesome. Go get a ball to sit on, Deb. All right, you guys, I sure love you. And I am so thankful that grace allowed you to flow into my life. Go out and have an amazing day. And let's see how grace flows in your life by doing these practices. Get on the practice. Do your ageless movement practice. And then let us know on the Facebook how grace is coming back into your life. Mwah! Love ya.